In this episode, we're changing all of the light bulbs in my home tiki bar from incandescent to these whiz bulbs. The great thing about these things is they're color changing. You can set automation and you can set scenes, which is perfect for a tiki bar. Let's find out what these are all about. Okay, this cost me a fortune, but I'm gonna replace most of the light bulbs in the Breezeway with these whiz bulbs. This is not sponsored, but I saw it over at a buddy's house and I was so impressed with these things that I'm gonna use these from now on, not only to save money on the power, but also because they can do some really cool stuff like smart scenes and things. So let's get to installing these. Okay, so I actually have changed a couple of these already. One in here and the two in here. Every time I change one, I'm gonna make sure that I label it in the app. Now the app, let me show you. I created a space called the bar. And if I go to left chunk lamp, you tap on that. Okay, so that is that one right there. Now, if I move this thing around, check it out, it goes orange, deep blue. Now, what I've found is that the best way to use these things is to like pull the saturation way down. So that means, God, this is so hard to hold both. That means doing something like at the top here, where it's like very faint. I know your tendency is probably gonna be like, oh dude, let's just like go nuts with the color. But that's the reason why I've avoided these things for so long, is because they look so artificial. So when you get into like, you know, this kind of stuff down at the very bottom, it's like, whoa, dude. And that might be your aesthetic. Mine, I like to keep it more traditional to tiki. And that means kind of like pale yellows, pale oranges, more of an incandescent bulb kind of thing. So I'm more comfortable here. This actually isn't bad either. So let me see what I did over there. Okay, so it's like a green. And especially with these things, it like helps sell the idea of these colors. You just have to be really careful that you don't get into like super saturation levels. Same thing with this. Like you wouldn't see a purple light like that in a tiki bar, like in a classic tiki bar. You know, I would be more apt to put it somewhere like that. And then that just becomes like so much more of the style, especially of the era that I'm trying to emulate. Okay, so let's go ahead and replace all the other ones. Okay, so when you open these boxes, let's just do a good old-fashioned unboxing here. Pull these guys out. This set comes with 4 per box. Comes with a little quick setup guide, which is super helpful. I mean, essentially all you do is point your phone at this QR code, and then you get the app and you can control each one of these bulbs individually. So that's what the bulb looks like. It's like kind of a standard LED looking light bulb or energy saving light bulb. But each one of these has Wi-Fi inside. It's like, the technology is pretty insane. And it's probably been around for a while now, but I'm late to the game. So let's start by doing this guy right here. This is a fish trap lamp. Something that I think I got from Oceanic Arts or maybe years ago, I'm not sure. But there's a bulb in here. You probably want to turn these things out. I like to try to avoid zapping myself at any opportunity. This thing's so gross too. Ugh. Ugh. It's just like, it's been in there for years and years. Okay, so new bulb. And I wired most of these things myself. Okay, I'm gonna leave that open. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to my app over here. I'm gonna go to devices found. Okay, and this is the new device. Click start. We're gonna add it to the bar scene. Okay, and we are going to connect to the internet. We are going to rename this thing. What does it look like? I don't know. I guess it kind of looks like this thing. It's horizontal. Maybe it looks like this thing. Obviously, you're not going to have like a fish trap, but you try to get close to the shape. And then I'm just going to call this, let's see, Whitco fish trap. And the reason I'm calling it that is because it's over by the Whitco bar here. Whitco fish trap. Okay. And say okay. Light mode. Okay, so this is where you can assign your light mode. I mean, that's actually a great color right there. It's just really, really bright. And you can pull down the brightness here to like barely illuminated. Because once you get to the point where you have like, I don't know, 20 lights in here, they can make it really bright really quickly. And so the idea is to create like a dark but interestingly lit ambiance. And yeah, you got to pull the brightness down right there. I'm just going to close this thing back up again. It's got like these great little things for it to slide up into. Perfect. Okay, what's next? Let's do this Capiz lamp right here. This is how you get into this one. Pretty cool, huh? Just slide that out of the way. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. I'm not totally scared of getting zapped, but they also do get, oh God, insanely hot. Woo! God, that was hot. One of the things that I'm really excited about with these things is that just the temperature, dude. The operating temperature of them is going to be so much better. I found this lamp in an estate sale, and it was just hanging in the corner. And I was like, yes, please. And it's the kind of thing that I think most people who are maybe new to Tiki don't think of as a Tiki lamp. But you would see these things at Hilton Hawaiian Village and Don the Beachcomber and all over. So it was very much a part of vintage Tiki. It's found the device. You're going to give it this shape. And we are going to call that Whitco Capiz. Whitco Capiz lamp. Okay. I think you have to save. You have to save it first, and then you can go back and like adjust the colors and things. Because I couldn't until I like went through this. See, like now I can. So only after going through all those steps am I able to go back and like adjust things. So I'm gonna go warmest right here, and I'm gonna pull this down to like. They don't really have numbers or like percentages of brightness, but it's like there. And all these settings may change over time, but I just want it to be glowing. I'm not trying to get it to like emulate a bunch of light off of it, just like a soft glow. Okay, let's do the. This is the barrel lamp from the Bahooka. I got a paper towel because these. Ooh, because these are starting to get hot. Okay, so this one I actually probably will make red because there are certain lights that you just want to have illuminated a certain color. Okay, and this is vintage from the Bahooka. It's such a shame that place went away, but I'm happy to have a little portion of it here in the Breezeway. You can see the barrel right here. Oh man, they just like, you don't find those kind of things much anymore. It says devices found. So we're gonna click on devices found, shows the device. We tap on that, hit the start button. We're gonna add it to the bar. We are going to connect it to the Wi-Fi. I'm starting to get to be a pro at this. Bluetooth pairing happening. Okay. Okay. We're going to click on OK. And then we are going to Let's see here. What's the shape of that barrel? It's kind of this guy right here. And we're going to call this Bahooka barrel. Okay. And okay, next. So we have added it. Now we can go back and adjust the color. And I think, ooh, I don't like that. Let's go into colors. And I'm going to find a red. Yeah, that's cool. And then we'll really have to check this at night to see how bright everything is. There is a light right here that is also adding to the red hue in this corner. But for now, that's cool. Okay. And actually, while we're in this corner over here, I just wanted to let you know about this dude right here. This is probably the second tiki that I ever carved. And Bamboo Ben taught me a secret that if you want to turn a 5-foot tiki into a 7-foot tiki, you put them on a ledge. And then all of a sudden, it seems obvious, but all of a sudden you have like a 7-foot tiki. And speaking of tikis that I've carved, I want to share this little dude right here with you too. Not this guy, he's from Papua New Guinea, but the one in the middle is a tiki that I carved years and years ago. And see his little hands and his teeth. And there's something really exciting about this tiki, something that you may not expect. So stick around and I'll let you in on the secret before we wrap up. Dude. Okay, you can already see I'm starting to get a collection of different lamps in the Breezeway here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. What do we do next? This one? Okay. This is from my friend Elena, one of kind of the premier lamp makers in the tiki world right now. She does incredible work. And can I just do this without turning it off? Yeah. I think I just had a appliance bulb in there. If you don't want to spend, these are not these are not cheap. If you don't want to spend a fortune, you can get appliance bulbs, and they're so small and so low wattage that they stay cool. They don't use up a ton of energy, I don't think, but they also don't illuminate the whole room. And this is kind of what I've been using for a lot of things if I'm not using colored bulbs. But I'm excited to put this in because now we can. The cool thing is that we'll be able to control the color of the whole place. Whoa, all of the lights all at the same time. So I'm excited to make them all the same color, really see what we can do to the vibe of the place. And I probably won't really do that too often, but at the same time, to have that options, it's pretty cool. Okay, so it says devices found. I love how easily these things are added to my phone. Sometimes when you're adding devices to your phone, it's just yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see the thing that I'm supposed to see, that it's supposed to be super easy to add. But every one of these light bulbs comes up immediately. So, and I also have 3, 6, 9, a lot more. I have a lot more to add in. And then we're going to call this L's lamp because Elena gave it to me. Okay. And I actually like this a lot. I just want to pull the brightness down. So I'm actually totally content with that color. That is just the warm setting. Do what you will, but I would advise staying with kind of these neutral colors. And as I say that, I'm looking at this green one. And the reason I did the green up here is because this has the green, green rocks. So I wanted to kind of highlight the green with some green. But normally I try to keep it this kind of color. Or you can see over here, this is a red bulb. And I don't dislike that for that one. So I would try to stay in the warm hues. When you start getting into blues and stuff, it starts getting kind of funny. But I don't know, maybe this will stay blue also. The only thing that concerns me is eventually we're gonna have to deal with the pufferfish lamps. So you'll see what that means. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is this one up here, which is something that I made, and I basically did something that Bamboo Ben does a lot on his builds. They're really simple lamps to make, but they're effective. They're kind of a bare bulb look, but it's like a mini little A-frame. And if you want to get a bunch of lamps in your bar quickly, you can make these things. I think it's just with like 1x2s, and then I don't know, just some stuff. Let's see here. When I'm unscrewing these things, I'm very careful not to touch any of the metal stuff because I don't want to get zapped. And really, you should be unplugging or like turning off all the power. God, look how bright that is. If every single bulb in here was that brightness, it would be like an operating room. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that. And just like before, dude, it comes right up. Okay, we're going to call this Whitco, and it's just a designation by location. So Whitco A-frame. Okay, it's all set up. Now, if I find a Whitco A-frame and I click on that, look at that. I can assign it. Can you see? I can assign it a color. Ooh. I mean, the tendency, like the temptation to make everything just like a rainbow of hues is definitely there, but I really think you're better served by being tasteful with your color choices and really trying to keep the bulbs low. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. It's pretty fun. Let's do another red one. We can do this red one right here. And this lamp is something that I made a while ago. It was a bit of almost like an Orchids of Hawaii lamp, but kind of my own spin on it. Ooh, I'm gonna turn this one off. Some of them are easy to get to, and some of them are not as easy. And I don't want to accidentally touch things that are gonna get me zapped if I can help it. There is a method to my madness here. It's not just being irresponsible. It's like understanding the risks and evaluating them. Orchids. Triangles. Okay, here is another lamp that I made. And to get into this one, I just go, whoop. Come on, man. Oh, it's hitting the light bulb. I didn't build much tolerance into this. There it goes. Okay. Hot, 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 hot. Whew. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna unplug this one too. I was bumping into stuff that felt like I should rethink things. And especially the way that my hand had to direct the bulb, it was like, ooh, maybe we should be smart. And then put this thing back. Okay. Wow. She's bright. You can see on the rare occasion that I live stream, this is for camera B. It's a ceiling mount. We're going to call this drum lamp left. Kind of based off of the drum. Whoa. I don't think I like that. We are going to go to green again. And I'm just trying to find one that's not super saturated. And then I'm going to pull the brightness way down. Yeah, like that. Okay. Look at that. Just like the nicest colors. Cool. Okay, so we got most of the lights in this section of the breezeway done, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm still playing around with brightness levels and saturation levels. It does look kind of bright in here, so we'll see what happens. I do have camera gear and stuff set up in here. It's still set up for filming and stuff, but it's pretty good. This still has an incandescent little light bulb in it that'll probably stay because it's visible. And then I think this still needs a bulb, but I replaced these over here. I think that looks incredible. You can see there's a big crack here from where I hit it with a light stand once. I was super excited about that. I've been screwing with the saturation levels on these two right here. Blue and green are tough colors for these kind of lights. So yeah, and then I haven't had this lit up for years, so I'm excited to have that lit up finally. And I need to change the one in there. And I haven't had this one lit up for years either. That's another one that I made a long time ago. Sparky, what are you looking for? The rat, father. But look at all of the different lamps that we have now. It's crazy. And if I take this whole thing and I hit this button up here, it's like an on and off switch. Okay, so those are the ones that we still have to do. We still have to do this guy, that guy, that big ball back there, and the pufferfish. And we have a lot of pufferfish to do as well over here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. That guy's not even lit up. And all kinds of other lights. So let's get going, keep going. And I'm gonna turn all of this back on again. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love that. Oh, good. I left the top open. God, I need to turn that off. It's too dangerous. Okay. God. Yeah, I'm not even really that bummed by that. That thing's a little bright. It's kind of the best I've been able to see it in a long time. It does shine a lot on the ceiling, so I don't know. It's so bright in here now. It's so bright in the breezeway. The nice thing though is that you have a global setting on here too. So, like if you go to, it says bar, you can make everything way brighter. Did it just get brighter? Or you can make everything way darker. See? It's pretty cool. So if you really wanted, and it brings everything down at equal proportions. And actually I like that a lot, so maybe that's the solution. Oh man, I remember when I screwed with this thing last, and it's like trying to come apart. And it's so fragile. I'm like so scared of wrecking this thing. Oh, dude, this thing, it's so fragile. And if you could see what I was seeing, you just go like, no, dude, leave it alone. These things are so rare. And I just don't want to destroy it, but I also really want to change this bulb. Now, I wonder if I put the bulb down inside of it and then screw it in once it's in there. Probably the best. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, dude, this is totally doable. Switch it on. Whoa. Okay, and then if I can just like, don't anybody sneeze. Okay, I've got it all set up, so let's see. We just hit some quick buttons and see if we can get it to change colors. Okay, so now it's starting to, I just clicked on cool. Let's see what relax looks like. Okay, that's very Miami Beach. We're just gonna go to warm, and then I'm gonna pull the brightness way down. We just want it to glow. Cool. I wonder if we even need that red light anymore. There are so many bulbs that I just didn't even know existed in here, or I just forgot about. Like they've been up there for years. Like this thing right here, which I think is supposed to be pointing here to illuminate that guy. We should probably change that bulb, and then maybe it'll be more of a spotlight. Whew, that is bright. That is so bright. I tell you, like, the thing that I hate about all of these lamps is that once you get a ton up here, you're just like buried in lamps. It's hard to like do anything. Okay, so check that out. So that's pretty cool. Okay. The two most obvious bulbs that need to change are the ones in the big fish trap lamp right above me. So I'm gonna grab 2 bulbs for the trip up the ladder. I tell you, it really is fun working on the Breezeway. And I'm sure those of you who have home tiki bars feel the same way. It just feels like you're getting something done. I don't know. I enjoy that. You just have to weave your way up through all of the lamps. Okay. And hope that I wired everything so that it doesn't zap me. Okay. And I'm gonna do these one at a time because it'll add them and I won't know which one's which until afterwards. So let's say if I'm behind the bar, that will be fish trap, giant fish trap right. We're gonna add color to this one because it is in a blue thing. It's not changing, but it shall. Sometimes these things take a second to update. I don't know why. Like, it drives me nuts. And it's like this whole system is so incredible, and I'm like frustrated that it doesn't update it right away. Okay, and then the second one we're gonna do. Oh, it flashed, so maybe it just did. Second one we're gonna do is the red bulb. All these bulbs are still good too. It's such a shame to like just get rid of them, but I don't know, it'll be more efficient. And so that was a red bulb. I thought that was actually a red fish float, but I guess not. So we're gonna make this a red bulb again. Okay. Okay. I want it to be red. There it goes. Okay, that one was easy. And then pull the brightness down just a little bit. Let's see if we can change that other color now to like a green. Oh, dude, look at that. Okay. It's like a sea foam. And I'm just gonna pull down the brightness. Oh man, it's just like so blue. It's not bad. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. The next stuff that I'm going to deal with are some pufferfish. There's one right there, and there's one right here. Can you see him? There he is. So let me see if I can do that guy first, as he's not even lit up. I think everything's plugged in. So it makes me wonder if the batteries just ran out on this guy or what happened. Oh no. How do you get the light? Oh no, it's wired for like a, yeah, it's wired for like a candelabra bulb. And it's filled you'll notice the other ones too, the other pufferfish, they're filled with like birds' nests. Ugh. It's one of those things that I'm gonna have to deal with eventually, but I just, like, I don't want to. Who wired this thing? I didn't wire this. See, this is how they had it. Where you like literally just pull it through its mouth and then you have the bulb. And it's just like a tiny candelabra bulb. Oh man, how am I gonna even deal with this? And I think I had him hanging lower before, but the reason I moved him up was specifically for filming, because it was getting in the way of filming. We will have to leave that for next time. Same thing. Jeez. Oh man. And it's gotten so hot that it's like melting this guy. I wonder if I'd have to cut this thing open. This is turning into an issue where I'm gonna probably have to cut the tops open to these things and then redo the way they're lit. Damn. We might be done for now. And maybe what we'll do is tomorrow morning we'll spend some time rewiring some lamps. Okay. Good. It's cold out here anyway. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, let's see here. I am going to replace the light bulb socket for that. This guy, and then we're gonna add a light bulb to that big fish float in the back. And I think we're gonna see what's going on with that one up there. I swear that since doing the show full time, the only two places that I ever drive to are Home Depot and High Time. That is the truth. Let's see. This one's got like a side switch. I think I like, oh, here we go. Keyless lamp holder. And then, let's see, you can get something. Oh, we don't want one with that's grounded because a lot of the extension cords do not have the ground on them. So like this is perfect. The only problem with this is that it's white. And with Tiki bar stuff, that's like kind of something you got to consider. And they used to have brown, but I don't see it anymore. Okay, this is the lamp rewiring section where most everything's wildly over expensive. Like, what are these switches? Oh wait, hold on. Cap nuts are $6. What are you talking about? Like a toggle switch. So instead of buying this big thing here, this is, I think I have wire at home. I think I have a plug at home, but for $10, it's like way too expensive, but it's all assembled. So they don't just have that simple plug here at Home Depot anymore. It's bizarre to me. Okay, I'm back home and I just remember I have this box right here, lamp making stuff. And so this is the last of the chain from Oceanic Arts for all their lamp making stuff. Looks like I have a switch here, but the reason I wanted to point this thing out, I wanted to show you in here, I've got a lot of shells, a lot of sea glass, see, glass, ton of this Capiz stuff. So if I want to make something dangling, but this is what I was looking for. No, it's not. Damn. That's just like rope and stuff. Rope and trim, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that's not even the box that I was thinking of. It's this one. This dirty old box right here. And this is where all the cool stuff is. So there's some burlap, some tappa, and a ton of different materials and trims. And I thought that I had some wires and stuff in here, but I don't know, dude. It's starting to look like maybe I don't. So what happens when you don't keep everything in the same spot? You end up losing it. So I don't think I have what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, I think it might be up there. Damn it. Okay, if you're looking at my garage and you're thinking, man, that is quite the mess. This is so much more clean than it used to be. Okay. Let's see what we have in there. Okay, so a lot of rope, more cable, okay. More lamp wire. These things, I just never found a spot for those. What else? Coconut rope, which is great. I think I could use that for something. Some more braided material. This is all the stuff that they used to sell at Oceanic Arts. Not this thing, but a lot of stuff. And then I have all these rings cut, just waiting to turn into lamps, but just don't have the time. What I'm looking for is not in here. It's so funny. These were cut off of Tiki's carved by Oceanic Arts. When I was building the bar, I was like, oh, dude, I need a little less Tiki. Put all this stuff back. Okay, the power is turned off, so I'm gonna screw with this one first. I'm just gonna clip this guy, take him down. Okay, so we have this guy now. Get out of the Breezeway. And what we're gonna do with this is first we're gonna empty it out, get rid of this like bird's nest that's in it. And then we gotta cut the top open because if we're gonna turn it into a lamp, then we have to do that. So I'm bringing it over to the side of my house where I've got a bunch of tools as well as a trash can here. So let's see if we can get this thing open. And I'm trying to avoid using a Dremel. Oh God, this thing hurts. It hurts to hold. And I'm just gonna try and cut through the top of this guy. Man. Ah, dude, I'm gonna have to use a cutoff wheel. Okay, so I got a Dremel with like a simple little cutoff bit here. This is the only mask that I have, like dust mask that I have, is like the super gnarly what was it? I don't know what it is. It's like the one that is supposed to be antiviral. I just really don't want to get dried fish dust into my lungs or in my eyeballs. Okay, this is the top of the fish here. Wow. Okay, that didn't work. We're gonna try something a little bit bigger. This is certainly bigger. And that is just big enough for a light bulb to get in, I think. We'll just have to cap it somehow. And that's the way that Oceanic Arts used to do it also. That's all the bird nest that was inside. Okay, we got all of the stuff out of the puffer fish. Dude, I can't believe the size of the nest that was in there. Go back into the Breezeway. Yeah. I'm going to use this little float thing to rest the fish on. Now, I don't want to like handle this thing too much because it's pretty gross. Here's the hole that I made for the light bulb. And it's like too hard. Man. And you can see where they went in through originally. He's got a bit of a surgery scar on the bottom. And it's too bad. I've never seen a pufferfish with this kind of cut through the bottom. I guess they weren't intending for it to be a lamp at the time, but when I went to the estate sale that had this, there were like 5 or 6 pufferfish, and they were all like that same kind of thing. So they were just all hanging in somebody's backyard. And some of the pufferfish are kind of deformed because I think they got wet. And when they get wet, they get pliable, which makes me think that maybe I can do that with the top here. I just hate cutting more into it because the more space that I make on the top, the more I'm going to have to cover up because light will escape through the top. Or maybe it's so high up and this could be so low wattage that I don't need to cover it. So there's that to think about too. In the meantime, we should probably cut the wire and install this guy. So why don't we do that first? Okay, I'm gonna show you the great thing about using one of these guys. See? What I'm doing is I'm just cutting this thing in half. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is this top just screws off. See that? And then you have these terminals here. And one wire goes down one side and the other wire goes down the other side. I'm gonna pull this little metal piece off. It's like a hanger. So one wire goes down one side and the other goes down the other side. And then you just screw the cap back on. So by tightening down the top, you're gonna puncture the wires. And then when you puncture the wires, they're gonna create the contact. This is so awkward to do up here. Okay, and I don't want these things poking through either, so let's get them in a good spot and start closing the lid on them. Okay, and before we do anything else, I want to test them. So I'm going to plug in this bulb and I'm going to go turn it on. All right. See how simple that was? Super easy. You don't really have to be an electrician to figure that out. Just always be cognizant of exposed wires or that kind of thing. And that's great. So here we are. The next part of this is going to be attaching this guy into here. Okay. That's going to be the trick. There it is. Okay. And then this wire was already here, so we'll see if we can just use the wire to kind of like, I'm gonna make a coil and try to get it to sit inside there, and that'll just hold the thing up. Like that. And is it touching the bottom? No. Cool, so that's what I'm gonna do for that. And then hang it up a little bit higher so it doesn't get in the way of my cameras for filming. Bro. See if we can link this thing up. Device is found. We're gonna call that pufferfish. We should number them, huh? 1, 2, 3. So maybe pufferfish going outside. We'll call that number 1 because that's like the first one that you see when you come in. Does that make sense? They don't have an icon for pufferfish. Pretty weak. We're gonna give it the ceiling fan because ceiling fan kind of looks pufferfishy. It's like spiny, I guess. And we're gonna call it puffer number 1. And we change the color. Look at that, totally working. We're gonna give it a color. I hate that you can see the light bulb through there. But also kind of is what it is, you know? Unless you guys have an idea at home how I can hide that. I guess I could put like a piece of tapa in there, but I don't know. Okay, so we're just gonna find kind of a, I think I want it to be blue. And we're just gonna pull down the brightness. And then at night, that thing will really light up. Okay, cool. Let's do the other ones. And so I went through to each of the puffer fish, cut them open to fit the light bulbs, built lamp assemblies, and hung them up again. For the first time ever, all of the puffer fish in the Breezeway are illuminated. aside from the one that sits right above the bar that was given to my friend, then to me, by Shag. Okay, we have one more lamp that we're gonna put together, and that's for a big fish float up in the corner. Like a couple of years ago, I was able to drill a hole in that fish float without blowing it up. And maybe we'll do a tutorial on that eventually, because there's some tricks and it's not totally impossible. When I used to ask Bob and Leroy about cutting holes in fish floats, they said that like 1 out of like 5 would always break. They're like, it's not good. And I don't know if they used the technique that I did. They probably did. I mean, that's what they did professionally, so I don't know. I'm gonna use this ready-made package that we got at Home Depot. It's got an 8-foot cord, so I'm expecting that's probably long enough. Okay, and we are just going to split this. This already has the ends exposed, so I'm just gonna tuck those in. I'm gonna try to put the exposed wire like right where the contact points are and screw this thing back on. We should probably test it before we go up there because it's like a long journey up there. Let's see here. Let's grab a new bulb. And because this is going to be in a semi-transparent housing, I'm gonna get rid of this little UPC symbol back here as best I can anyway. Kinda. Oh, actually, I got an idea. I'm not really a knife guy, but I love, love, love this Husky utility knife. When I bought it, I just got it on Amazon or whatever. When I bought it, I got like 3 of these things, and I just put them all over the house because I'm always opening packages or like, you know, cutting things. Bulb works. Okay. Okay, so we are up at the top of the breezeway now, and I'm just gonna drop this guy in there. There's the hole. Very nice. Okay, that took way longer than it was supposed to, but it's all wired up. So let's see if it turns on. Oh no, it didn't turn on. Oh, I gotta figure it out. Son of a bitch. There it goes. Look at that. Dude, how rad. Okay, I think we're done. I think that's everything that is not flame bulbs. Like that's not gonna go to LED. That's not gonna go to LED. These lanterns are gonna stay like this. Maybe this thing. This is kind of the corner that I haven't finished yet. And it's like kind of a no man's land. We'll get to that eventually. Well, this is it. This is the lighting makeover of the Breezeway. Look at this. And I do have to say that I am super happy with the way that everything looks. I was afraid of it having kind of that neon glow to it. And I don't know how it looks on the camera here, but in person, everything looks pretty mellow. You know, there's a lot of lamps in here that I was really concerned would end up looking like, I guess like digital is the way that I would phrase it. But you look at some of these things, like this guy right here, and it looks so warm and authentic. Same thing with this one. Nothing in here really has that artificial glow. The other nice thing about the whole thing was that I was able to go through and actually light up a lot of stuff that hadn't been lit up for a long time. Just stuff that over the years, like, was neglected. Like specifically this fish float right here now has like a nice warm glow to it. And then like a lot of the pufferfish lamps. And some of them, like specifically this one right above my head, is still a little too bright. Like I need to turn that thing down because that's like lighting up the whole room. But I'm really happy with the way that the dining area of the Breezeway looks, I guess you would call it. It just looks so mellow. But at the same time, like so many lamps. And that's kind of like the hallmark of a great home tiki bar, is a ton of lamps, but not overwhelming in a vibrancy kind of manner. And I was even able to take the time and light up some stuff that had never been lit up before. And there's the pufferfish up there that is now lit up. All of these lights are now set up on the Wiz system. So, you know, with a flick of an app, look at that. Oh, that's weird. It just turns into kind of like all like fire mode, which is kind of in itself really cool. The reason that's still blue over there is because that is the hair light that I have for filming, and that creates kind of that blue glow just to separate me from the background. And otherwise, the only things that are left going right now are flicker bulbs. Hi. Let me turn them back on, and they should come back all to the same level that they were on before. Isn't that amazing? And then, dude, wait, watch this. Then there are also different kind of like color modes. I'm going to turn that fish down just a little bit first. That is puffer number 1. Puffer number 2 is that one. Turn that down a little bit too. Okay, anything else like really standing out? Puffer number 3. The puffers are just kind of bright in here. Scene 1 is going to be called Cocktail Service. But check this out. So we can go to their party mode. This is party mode. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I don't like party mode. They're all flickering. That is so wild. They're all changing colors. It's a full party mode. Weird. Okay, this is fireplace mode, which probably would be pretty like applicable for Tiki, except I don't like that I don't like the idea of these bulbs changing color, like shifting color. I like the idea of them looking incandescent, so just staying all the same color. Here's the relax mode. Oh, kind of turns everything into like cool tones, almost kind of a pink hue. Weird. This is the cozy mode. And cozy mode also would probably be great for like tiki bars. Okay, let's go back to cocktail service. I will hit that. And we're back to where we started. I can't tell you the game changer that this is. And can you imagine if you had a tiki bar, like a commercial tiki bar? So this could be such a game changer for those bars that do like a timed seating kind of thing where it's like, you usually get like 90 minutes. So if you got in at 7 o'clock, you leave at 8:30, and that's like your block that you're allotted there, you know, for the cocktail experience. But what if those bars timed the lighting changes to your stay? So like when you come in, it's like a normal tiki bar. It's like nice colors, tasteful colors. But then as the evening goes on, maybe the music changes, things get more like interesting. Everything goes into these orange colors. Maybe it's like the music picks up pace. And then maybe there's a moment in the night where everything gets chill and you see the lights turn to pink, I guess. It goes pink. And then maybe there's like a super high energy moment of the night where it just goes to full party mode. Oh God, I wouldn't recommend this mode. But then at the very end, maybe it just goes to like, okay, time to go. And it just gets really bright, you know? That could be a thing. And this could be a very simple way for bars to achieve something that would normally take computer programming and like a whole infrastructure to make this kind of thing happen. Whereas now, it's all right on your phone. It's pretty amazing. Let's get back to how the Breezeway is supposed to look. Look at that. And now that we're done with all this, there's one thing that I wanted to share with you. Dude, look at this. From Tiki Farm, in celebration of the Breezeway remodel, look at this, dude. It's this guy right here. The Tiki that I carved years and years and years ago. I can't believe that Tiki Farm created this mug celebrating my original sculpture. I want to thank Tank Standing Buffalo for the incredible rendering that he did of this. And of course, everybody at Tiki Farm, including Holden, for being such great sponsors of the show. This is the first tiki mug I've ever had that was based off of one of my sculptures or my carvings. And there's only like 4 carvings that I've ever done. So I never thought, when I first got into tiki, I never thought that I would have a mug created in the likeness of one of my carvings. And it says Spike on the bottom. See, can you see that? So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was not sponsored by Wiz. I do want to thank Nick with the Savage Seas Home Tiki Bar for cluing me into the Wiz system. Really do appreciate it. I would not have ventured out on this without first seeing his place. And we're going to be traveling to his place pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. But if you want the exact products that I used, I'm going to link them in the description below so you can get exactly what I had. And this dude is on sale now. Dude, I'm beside myself. It says Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour on the back, right here. So rad. Please be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Share this on your social media if you found this interesting or informative. And I will see you in the next video. Aloha. Ooh, look at that.